You're killing me, Smalls.
We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS shipping packages. I'm smoking weed out them packages. If I ain't got a gun, I'm stabbing it. I got some leftover lean in the cabinet. I can hit your little hoe when she happy. Poke on that pussy shit like it's a top in it. We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS doing the packaging. I'm smoking good ass weed out them packages. I can't lie 'cause I ain't capping it.
Welcome back to the DNA Podcast. It's your boy D.
It's your boy Antonio. Let's get to it.
This week we're going to talk about sexualization in cartoons, and
To keep it simple, we're gonna talk about the cartoons that had us break up as kids. It sounds weird, but it's true. So
basically how we feel about it, and it actually goes into a more pungent topic of people being afraid to see gay in cartoons, which circles back to sexualization's always been there.
yeah. Okay.
Now,
What do you want to start at?
I don't know. I guess a story's always good. But I'm going to be honest. Being an adult and circling back to the cartoons that you've liked growing up, and I don't, I feel like you're a creep if you go for specific, women in cartoons, but I feel like, we go watch cartoons that we liked in the past, and then we'll just see, damn, why she was built like that. Damn, why.
No, for me, ain't no secret I'm an ass guy. And now that I go back and look at all these cartoons, I see why I liked you as a cartoon.
Makes sense. Bro, Dexter's mom on Dexter's Laboratory had a whole Ford truck on the back of that thing, ready to pick up everything.
Bro, that was a fucking Hemi.
And so,
Whew.
as a kid, and we were having a discussion, it was before middle school, I really didn't notice any of this stuff. I'm just a kid. I'm here for the plot. I ain't here for
the plot.
I'm not here for all this other shit. But then middle school, you start noticing some stuff. You start noticing that, man, some of these cartoons, these women are kind of dressed
Scandalous.
Yeah. My go-to was Sandy and SpongeBob. It's weird that she's the only person to appear in a bathing suit, and normally, on top of it,
Yeah, not at a beach scene, just a regular scene.
yeah, whenever she doesn't have her suit on, which is whenever she's at home, it's just that. So, I think it's kind of weird looking back at it.
You ever think maybe Sandy was just a nudist, but they couldn't make her a nudist?
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, but I always felt like Sandy was a black girl. I don't know how y'all felt about that.
100% she was black.
So for me, it was like, why is the black girl? Why she walk around here looking like? But whatever.
Just what I used to when maturity set in. I was just like, SpongeBob, Patrick, they're gonna tap that.
I knew because SpongeBob never gave it any advances. Nigga gay.
That was the first signs then. That was bro, she always inviting you to come over. Like, you gonna make a move? And so, yeah, I think it's pretty weird that there is over-sexualization in cartoons.
I don't think it's that weird. I think it's weird in the basic but I think it's psychologically it makes sense because you gotta think who draws cartoons, adults, grown adults,
creepy old men.
not just creepy old men, but you tend to draw characters the way that you like people to look, right? So if you have an ass thing, you're gonna give the mom a big ass.
Boy, they made the nigga who made that bitch, the nigga that made motherfucking Incredibles had her looking like Kim Kardashian before Kim Kardashian. They literally gave her a pencil waist.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's kind of, for me, it's weird in the studios. You make the characters dad, sister, son. Most of the time, the son is the main character, so you have him first. It's when we make the mom, make sure you give her a nice rack and a nice, we got to make sure that's set. We got to make sure that's.
And I think it's the first cartoon that I can think of that was like that, like the mom is super fucking thick, is Dexter. That's the first one. That's the oldest cartoon I can think of, right?
Yeah,
I
off
can't
the
think
top
of
of my
anything.
head.
I can't think of anybody else. I guess it's Velma from Scooby Doo.
Man, sometimes they had Daphne in a 2-piece. Like, she was bad.
Yeah, but
My earliest real crush, like, when I see it, them girls from Totally Spies was built.
they were like skinny thick. Yeah, but yeah.
And, like, it's even weirder because, like, they were high schoolers, but let's not get into us liking anime and creepy old man drawing middle schoolers thick as hell. And I think that's
a
still,
whole nother basket to go into.
but I think it still falls under my weird thing of like, I guess I should leave with my main point. I do think there is a quote unquote gay agenda, but I don't think like, oh, make your kids gay or whatever. But I do think there's an agenda to try to push it more. But it's easy for me to say that now because it's like, yeah, it was over sexualization. It was a little bit of pushing there to us.
It was a little bit pushing to make everybody straight.
Yeah. I do like seeing that in there. I do see that, and that's how I'm comfortable saying that there's a gay agenda because it was a straight agenda. I have no problem saying that.
Yeah.
Or there was just a lot of subtext, and the subtext is what sticks with people more, and they don't know it.
Yeah.
Cause like, bro, I'm an ass guy too. I feel like most people are ass. Most men are ass guys. Cause girls know, like, I get a BBL, face can still be ugly, but I can get any nigga. Oh, maybe there's something deeper going on below the surface with us.
I think I was born this way. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about characters that were humanly drawn. They were humans.
This is where it gets real disturbing.
I would just like to preface this. I am not the only person to ever say this. I had a thing for Nyla in Lion King.
And it's like, it's weird. And I remember girls, even in my grade, was like, that's stupid, dumb, weird. And for the fact that, like, it's true that it's weird, but they were drawn to be sexy.
Yeah. Especially in that scene when she's on top of him, she makes that face.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like, I do get that it's weird that I like her, but that's why I was like, it's even, like, it's weird that I like her. It's weird that I was supposed to. That's what makes it.
And for me, it was more. It wasn't like, oh, I'm attracted to this lion. Like, I was attracted to her personality, if that makes sense. Like, who she was as a character was cute. So I found her cute. Like, so it was like, it's weird, but it's a thing.
I guess that falls under bestiality. It's not like you imagine having sex with a whatever, but
not
like,
at all.
I do feel the same way about like Lola Bunny was always bad to me. Like, I liked her more than some famous, like more than some real people, but it's like, she's a rabbit. But she's a humanoid rabbit. Like, they literally made her
Look human.
Yeah. Like, everything about her is human except for the tail and the fact that her face is a rabbit.
The ears, the
fur. But the fur is so thin you can assume that she's light skinned.
That's the funniest shit I've heard.
Bro, we always saw it as Lola light skinned, Bugs Bunny was white, Daffy was black. Bro, we know this.
Oh no, I thought Daffy was the white guy. I thought the pig was white. I thought
Bro, I know you from New Bern. I know you got stuttering black folks out there.
No, I'm trying to think of who I would think who the black person in the group was. And I guess Daffy because he was treated so bad. But
man,
Daffy always gave me angry white guy vibes.
If I take you to Lynchburg, bro, I'll show you some stuttering black folks that, bro, you a Daffy Duck nigga.
Nigga, white people can't have stutters?
Nah, bro, that nigga was black. And he was about his money, too. That nigga was about his paper. There's this one episode going around on TikTok. Not episode, but there's one meme. This nigga walk out, I think, at a bank or something. And I think he sold the nigga out for some money. So, one, he black. He really black. And so $1 goes into goes into the Tasmanian devil cage. That nigga go in there, whoop his ass. I'm a coward, but I'm a greedy cowboy. That's black nigga energy.
I fucking hate you.
Oh shit! But yeah. So like, it's weird that we're kind of supposed to be attracted to animals, even to your other point of like the car in Cars. Forgot her name.
Jamie.
Like, it's so weird. It's like, bro, you're attracted to a car, bro. She had a cute face because the face is human, and she had a good personality.
Yeah.
She was meant to be, because they made other cars ugly.
Yeah.
So she was meant to be cute.
And it's like and I won't say I was like attracted in the way of like normal attraction. It was like, oh, she's supposed to be the cute character. So I always, whenever I do it, I always imagine them as a human and like, oh yeah, she would be a cute character. If that makes sense.
I get that. I always imagine like everything I watch is like they're supposed to be humans. It's just
They're just
kids,
animals.
cars, yeah, or animals,
Yeah, it's just an object or an animal.
or like. So yeah, I think that gets back to that's my overall thing of it's weird in general. When you really think of it, I don't know any documents, any experiments, or any findings or whatever. But I feel like it's doing some long-term thing mentally to
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think
the act of having cartoons based off animals or cars, stuff of that nature, is doing it. I just think the like, it's one thing to have heroes. So it's like Lightning McQueen. Women wasn't attracted to Lightning McQueen. It was just like, he's a cool car. When we like, oh, he's a cool car. But like, they made the women to where young boys actually liked them.
I think, okay. I just think it's because boys are horny monsters.
Sure shit is.
I'm just saying, like.
But like, I'm not even saying going out the way, just like, for me, they went out the way to make them sexual. Just making them normal would have been.
I don't know they were trying to especially with the car, like with Cars, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect example, the Porsche from Cars. I don't think they went out their way to make her sexual. I just think they were making her look like a fancy girl living in a small town. And what's more fancy than like a sports car?
Yeah.
And sports cars are already kind of like a sexy looking machine. Even that's a weird statement.
I was about to say, if that's how you feel, guy.
Well, you know what I mean. Like it's supposed to look like, it's supposed to look fast. It's supposed to look. There's when you pull up in a Porsche, people are like, oh, that's a sexy car. It already has that vibe to it as an object.
Yeah.
So it just happened that she had to be a Porsche and be sexy. I think it really comes down to the personalities that make you really like them as a character.
It was looks for me.
For me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a sappy. maybe that's what I'm learning here.
Or I'm gonna tell you, like, now that I'm thinking about it, what's like really damning. It's when so like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? We know Jessica Rabbit, but the problem,
that was on purpose.
But no, the problem is that I like her more than the real people in there. I think she's cuter than the real life people.
Well, she's supposed to be a pinup doll.
True.
So she's supposed to be like what you envision as like the perfect woman, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Like perfect tits, perfect ass.
And so like that's like the damning thing to me, that I know kind of maybe it destroyed my little young mind. Not destroyed it, but did a little bit of damage there, because I know, like, I went back and watched it with my little cousin. It was like there are some cute real girls in there. Man, I did not give a fuck about none of them. I didn't give a rat's ass about, man, if it wasn't that cartoon character, bro, you were zero to me. Yeah. But those are the real things that I see.
Yeah. I mean, so on the other hand, do you think when women are drawn like that in cartoons, does that give an unrealistic goal for women to reach?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the answer I was looking for.
I must say, now that I think about it too, she's kind of built. I know I said this before, and it kind of makes sense. And goes into like damaged women minds. Jessica Rabbit is kind of what Kim Kardashian looks like, and it's damaged women. Like, You're not supposed to look like a cartoon character. You're not supposed to be big tits, small waist.
You're not supposed to, like, women aren't supposed to look like pinup dolls. Now, if you naturally look like that, good on you.
And it's only so much natural because your waist will always match your ass.
I've seen some girls who are just like
Super
built like that, like thin, and then the huge asses.
If that's normal, if that's your normal, that's okay. But like, yeah, now that I think about it, like, no, you shouldn't. If there's two pictures, like, your picture should not be beside Jessica Rabbit's like built. No, that's a cartoon. But I do think, now that you mentioned it, that damaged young girls' minds, thinking that's all that guys want. But on the flip side, it damaged guys' minds, thinking that that's what they want.
It's what I want. Yeah. If it's not this, I don't want it.
Or, not that it's not this, I don't want it. When I see it, I'm gonna want it more than all the other shit I'm working with.
Yeah. True. True.
And this is only hindsight stuff.
Yeah.
But
this is some deep breaking down the whole concept.
And like, I've thought about this before, and I had, this is the only thing ever that I worked backwards on, because most stuff I start with my thesis and then work. But it was I forgot what the fuck I was watching, but it was like so evidently gay. And like, I tell people this all the time, I have no problem with gay people, have no problem with like gay pride, but gay is not a lifestyle. Gay is a sexuality. If I can tell a cartoon character is gay, it's too gay. Like, gay is not a lifestyle. I hate to burst those people's bubbles. Gay is a sexuality. You should not be able to tell sexuality just like, yeah, that cartoon character, he gay. Like that shouldn't happen that easily.
Okay. I'm going to argue your point. Not saying I disagree, because I'm going to argue against your point. All right. So if you see like the most alpha Chad guy, right? Being a Chad, being like super straight. You know what I'm saying? Does that not apply?
I never actually, like, so no bullshit, and this is not me just using this for the argument. I never, my first thoughts is never, oh, he's super straight. I just think, damn, he a bastard. He's just ass whooped.
Okay, but don't you think maybe your thinking of that in that mindset is framed from a certain way of thinking?
Okay.
That straight is just the expected, and like being an.
I get what you're trying to go to, and no, I would not assume that he's gay, but I don't just outwardly think, and that's why I don't outwardly just think, damn, that nigga straight. I don't outwardly think.
What I'm saying is, you not thinking that is coming from a place, because to not think something is also from a way of thinking, if that makes sense.
And this is not counter to that. There's actually a third option. That is a lie. When it comes to kids, no, it's just not thinking of it at all. It's just not thinking of it.
Okay. Yes. If you have not been introduced to the concept, then yes.
Yeah.
But we all know that there's a sect of gay people who are like flamboyant, loud. That's a character trait that they have.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to be inclusive as a animating team, right? And you decide to put in a character that's gay, and they happen to be it would be weird if two characters are gay and they both act the same in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to make it an inclusive cartoon.
Yeah.
So one would have to be, not have to be, but one would be logically, it would be the flamboyant one, and one would be the more chill one, and then one would be straight.
I get exactly what you're talking about, and I do delve into this. There are two separate sets of cartoons I do mean. One for look, so when I worked backwards, and it's like, so what you're saying is true, but then some people's flip side of the argument, which you probably would get to, is you don't have a problem with straight people kissing. I do. I actually do. That's me working backwards. There's still sexualization that I don't.
In what context?
Just like I guess for me, it's just normal. Kids shouldn't have to feel nothing. Because for me, this is bad. My hormones actually kicked in because they were forced to. I didn't naturally just start feeling sexual towards women. other people I knew started talking about it, and then it just kind of like it kind of made me forced to start noticing like I'm kind of weird. Like I'm already weird, but it's like I can't be this far gone. And like back then, being gay was super bad. I guess I say super like it's bad now, but like I remember
it was frowned upon.
Yeah,
and shunned.
I didn't like girls like that back then, and so I was, bro, you gay or you gay? And this was going on, bro. I'm not gay. I'm just not nothing. I'm not. But literally, like shortly after, and I shit you not, by the end of the month, my hormones was kicking. And I know hormones don't work like that, but I think
they actually kind of do. They actually kind of do. It's kind of a switch. It's like boom. All right.
And so I just think, I just feel that happens for all kids. I feel like there should be a certain age where like,
well, you have to be exposed to the concept eventually.
Yeah, I feel like there's an age you should, but all mediums of cartoons is.
But I in a weird way, I think cartoons is a good way to learn about it. Because the situations are usually way lighter. Now, not some of the cartoons that we like, Adventure Time and they have more serious undertones.
And mind you, some young kids watch that because like
because it was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, they're just battling. It's just like the stupid battle of monsters and do. Whoa, this is serious.
It's heavy.
Yeah, this is serious.
Yeah, but I think cartoons is a good medium to get introduced to the concept of being attracted to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I say that just because it's number one, your house is a safe space, right? You can explore those feelings and get introduced to that stuff without having other kids to judge you in that time of discovery.
Yeah.
Now, there is definitely a line that has to be drawn in the sand on how far we go with the introduction of these concepts.
So we're there with that, and it's like I wasn't meant for all cartoons, but I feel like there should be a different Cartoon Network.
Teen,
like Teen Titans had like I guess kind of more sexual tone, but like there's nothing serious, but it's more serious to a 9-year-old.
And I think it's like you have to dance this line as ultimately comes down to you being a parent. You kind of have to control what your kids watch.
And that's the weird thing of like if I have them
at
watching
a certain age is not appropriate for you to be watching this.
Bro, how am I supposed to know that damn Teen Titans they got Raven's cheeks out after the motherfucker was just watching Scooby Doo?
But Raven's cheeks aren't really out in Teen Titans like that. Her legs be out.
Whoa, my damn mind! I could have sworn seen it from behind once.
No. There's like the basic like. And that's mask, but it wasn't like full on cheek. You feel me?
Bro, you're looking at it from an adult mind.
No, I remember as a kid. I was like, this mask, but it ain't full on cheek.
Bro, I knew as a kid. Damn, this is closer thing to bare ass I'm getting to. I'm not getting to no real bare ass anytime.
I was like, it's just legs.
Bro, I'm not getting close to those legs either. No legs. But me as a fully grown adult, it's just legs, bro. I've had more. I see legs. I could go on Instagram and see some damn legs. But yeah, that's my working backwards thing. It's like I do kind of see it, and some stuff is more in your face than others.
Certain cartoons are more in your face than others,
and I do hate that. Like people, we always do extremes. Either it is or it isn't. Most of the people hide behind no, there's no agenda. There's nothing being shown. Yes, there is. Man, I'm not saying the gay agenda is a bad agenda.
Necessarily saying there's a gay agenda does not mean that the agenda is like nefarious or evil. It definitely has a tone to saying that, but that's not what the point of us saying that is.
It's that y'all want to be you want to empower people to feel how they feel, so you want them to see it. And so,
that makes sense. It's like we want to see black characters because we want representation.
Yep, and
that makes little black boys and little black girls feel good about themselves. And if a kid's gay and they never see a gay character, they're gonna feel weird.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a thing.
And that's why I was like, people go on opposite sides of the fence. No, there's no gay agenda. Yes, it's gay. Y'all's pushing it on. Two things can be true. There is a gay agenda. It's not horrible, but it's obvious that there is one. And people hide behind, no, like that's not. Yes, and my straight ass went back and saw. Yes, they were aggressively straight things.
Aggressively straight.
So, and I'm not for that either. So that's why I was like, working backwards actually helped me here. So that's why I was like, I know for facts, I'm confident in saying gay agenda, and I'm confident in saying that, oh yeah, there was too much straight shit too. I guess we should clean this up. I guess it should be cleaned up in general. And that's what that's all that I'm saying.
Yeah. Since we're on the gay topic, are you aware of like I can't remember what it's called, like, but basically where they make the gay person, they make the evil person gay or like effeminate. Like Scar was very feminine for a evil person. Does that make sense?
I know exactly what you mean, and
how do you feel about that?
It's fucked up, but it makes sense.
Does it?
It doesn't make sense for the gay guy to always be the bad guy, but it makes so most of the time the villains and stuff feel like they're better. And taking care of yourself means that you're like, no, and you're laughing, but that is like, we back then being gay is just, oh, you got a pedicure, you got your nails cleaned, you did this, like just the simplest of taking care of yourself was considered gay. But back then, the bad guys, Scar legitimately thought he was the shit. He thought he was God's gift to the world.
No, he just hated his brother.
He thought he was God's gift. He hated his brother because he thought he was God's gift to the world.
He hated his brother because he wanted the crown.
You're circling around the point. He wanted the crown because he thought he was the shit.
Okay, if there's two brothers, and the oldest brother gets the crown, why wouldn't the youngest brother want the crown? It doesn't make sense.
So you're saying he just wanted the crown because Mufasa had it?
He wanted the crown because he wanted to be king.
And he wanted to be king because he was the shit. Because he thought he was the shit.
That's not necessarily it.
I swear to you.
You're looking at it from one angle and you refuse to bend on it.
I swear to you.
Well, you never had a sibling, so you don't really understand.
Sure shit don't.
When one sibling is favored over the other sibling, and Mufasa did nothing wrong.
There's a whole backstory on that nigga. Everything about that nigga was wrong.
Mufasa?
Yeah. No. Oh, you said.
Yeah,
this is not a scar. Yeah.
Yeah. Mufasa did nothing wrong, per se. Right? He just was born first. So he became king.
Yes, sir.
But that builds an animosity. Think Loki from Marvel. He wanted a crown so bad.
Nigga could have went to Earth and conquered him, but
he did, and that was Avengers 1.
He went after his brother. You got to go before the nigga get there. You know he spent the whole time on the planet bitching about it. You should have left earlier.
Anyway.
Bro, by the time Thor would have got there, you would have been conquered that bitch 20 years ago. And that would have you could have faded him then. Ooh.
Anyway.
But I have noticed those small things. But like for me, it's just like the bad guy just likes being pampered. But we especially back then, we associated it with gay. Now I do know there's more clear topics of them being gay and being the bad guy, and like it's not right. But this is not justifying it. It was a different time, so either it shouldn't be viewed, like you shouldn't be able to view it, or you just got to ignore it. Because I watch wrestling, and so professional wrestling has evolved dramatically through the years. There was this trope used back in the day. People like to see people like them win, and you beat the foreign menaces. So most of the time, if you're not from America, you were a bad guy. which is greatly frowned upon now. Like if you're not American, you're bad. That's just if you're Canadian, you're bad. If you're from Mexico, you're evil. If you're from you're evil. That's a trope. But then as it evolved into the more edgier content, gay was different, so gay was the bad guy. And they've actually had to scrub most of that from their library because like they had plenty of times where like gay people getting abused horrifically because straight was the norm. And that's just like, and that's dead ass how it was then because foreign is always looked at as the enemy. And gay back then was foreign, so that was the enemy. It's kind of like, so we evolved what foreign was. So foreign went from foreigners to gay to, we have something else that's foreign that Americans love doing that shit. We love seeing
I think we're back to foreigners.
What? Back to foreigners? Yeah. And so like, it's, I do not support that. And WWE's done well to scrub that shit because it's hard to sit through. But that's just the time period that it was in. That's not me saying that it was right, and it's not me giving them a pass. But what can you do?
Yeah, all you can really do is apologize for it and get rid of it.
Yeah, like that's the most that I can, because I don't expect for them to give money to gay whatever. I don't, because that was the thing then.
I mean,
so just
I
scrub
think,
it now.
I think if your actions did enough harm, like, you know, you were like, you know, really bad, then giving, as an organization, you should probably give some money to some gay shit.
For me, depending how old it is, like if this,
I don't know. I think it's just purely on the impact.
Man,
how bad was it?
If you're trying to bring up something from 1997, and I cleaned my image up dramatically since then, and you just cherry picked it, you can get the apologies, and I was wrong, but it was a different time. If I didn't do it, I wasn't going to be successful. and that looks like I'm defending it, but if WWE did not do this edgy content, they were going to lose their competitors doing edgy content. So they were literally screwed without doing this.
I guess.
And that's not me justifying it, but it's just like, bro, I don't expect for them to bend over. But for the fact that they scrubbed their library from, that's good enough. For like, what more do you want? You can't even view it no more.
I guess really what it comes down to is just okay, I have a question. Who was the gay wrestler that they were beating up on? I'm confused.
Okay, so it was this wrestler, and mind you, wrestlers are playing characters. So like they weren't really gay, but it was a wrestler called Goldust. And so
that sounds like a stripper. Jesus Christ.
And so his whole gimmick was that he was like a failed adult actor. But he was very gay. Yeah. And so like he came out in a yellow bodysuit with yellow face paint and black lipstick. And like, I'm going to show you a video after we cut, because my words do not do it justice. He was as edgy guy. He went off script and kissed the man to give him CPR, and the man in question actually got super pissed because it wasn't in the script for him to do it. He got beaten up and got stripped, and he was in lingerie. He came out wearing women's clothes and lingerie to wrestle a few times. I'm talking like the lingerie with up your ass crack. This is a real dark story, and there was actually a episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Never heard of it? Go check it out. And there was this wrestler called Chris Kanyon. He was secretly closeted for years. He was wrestling in the 90s. I'm getting into a whole lot, but WCW, where he worked at, got bought out by WWE. That's competition, and his contract got immediately terminated. He thought because people found out he was gay, this or that. There's no real proof of it. They asked him to come back like 4 years later, just out the blue for a one-off appearance. And they had him come out of a box in a skirt and paint and makeup, singing Boy George. And the Undertaker beat the hell out of him. And I'm talking like hit him over the head 3 times with a chair, this and that. And like he's bleeding profusely from his, I'll show you that too. It is actually super hard to watch. And Kanyon said he's dead now. He ended up taking his own life because he struggled with, he couldn't find work because he thought he couldn't find work because he was gay. but most people say he couldn't find work because he was a psychopath. But being closeted made him a psychopath. So it's like most people believe that they only did that because he was gay. They brought him back just to beat the hell out of him because he was gay. Of course, WAB is gonna say that they
deny that,
and they didn't know, but most of the signs look to that. So they have a horrible track record with this. But this is not in defense of them because it's still fucked up. They have a horrible track record with everything. They had women barking like dogs in their two-piece lingerie in the 90s. And kids was eating that up. Like, they have a horrible track record, period, with anything that don't involve white males.
Shit, we just recently got a black champion, right?
Mind you, he's been around for like 60 or 70 years. He's the second black one.
Second one? Okay.
And the first one came 2 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
They keep trying to rope The Rock in with us, which The Rock is black.
But he's also racially
Samoan.
He's racially ambiguous.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Yep.
It's like, yes, he's like I claim him as African American, right? But like when you look at The Rock, you can't really tell what he is.
I thought he was black because that's all, growing up, all I knew was black and white.
Yeah.
But like the more that they even do their stories about him, he's Samoan. That's not the same. But they love to say, oh yeah, he grew up in Samoa. Like he was born in Samoa, grew up with his Samoan grandmother, raised in Miami. But his father was Rocky Soul Man Johnson, a black guy. They like to point that out at the end and be like, we had a black guy. You did? And this is not me knocking The Rock because The Rock is my favorite wrestler. But it's like, you know what you're doing. You know that he's not fully black. Let me put it like this. If he was fully black, you wouldn't have pushed him. Let me put it like that. So like Roman Reigns is his cousin. Roman Reigns ain't black. He's actually just Samoan. He's not black. Yep. So that was the time, and WWE for their most part, and for them scrubbing it away means a lot because they can't get paid off of it no more. They don't use it to promote anything. Even if it was a significant part in history, they just act like it doesn't happen, and they have to rewrite the story to where I commend them, but it's all in the name of money anyway.
Yeah,
so,
this is just PR. Yeah, let's be honest.
But yeah, it's gone. It's like that was the time, and that was WWE. So God knows what cartoons was doing. That's just it was. If it happens now,
well, I think cartoons are always a little less edgy than like what WWE. Like WWE
was the most extreme.
I think wrestling's always been edgy.
So you can believe this or not, but it's only so it went through a phase of wrestling was just wrestling before was just wrestling like the wrestling that in high school, but then it grew a little bit more to where you needed a main attraction like a 7-foot guy, but then you needed more of the professional. So we transitioned to more of the theatric style, but it was still somewhat grounded. But then we get to the 90s. Bro, we don't want to see that shit. We want to see tits and ass. We want to see a bald nigga drink beer and whoop ass. We want to see a nigga with a bull on his arm talk shit about a bunch of folks and tell us what he cooking.
At least how it smells, goddammit.
So it did go through. And when I look back at old stuff, it is obvious to me. Old animes. Anime is another good thing to look at. Anime has, because Japanese people have no problem making fun of gay people. Even now, man, they ain't affected by no LGBTQ. You can't cancel Japan. They don't give a fuck. But I 100% know when it's not right. And I can't change the past, but I can choose not to support it now.
Yeah.
Because that goes into our thing of we noticed that most characters kind of like Michael Jackson later in life. Michael Jackson looked like a white woman later in life. So those are effeminate features that has just so happened. Most anime bad guys look like an effeminate Orochimaru, Hisoka. We had a good list before. Fuck it.
The main demon from Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah, Michael Jackson.
True Michael Jackson demon.
And it's funny how they use those things. And for some odd reason, it looks scary. For some odd reason, it looks in Naruto they used Haku before.
Yeah, Haku. Even Itachi in a way, because Itachi kind of has a soft face. Even though his face is hard, he still has like a.
I do know exactly what you mean, but most ninjas like so. So I saw a picture of Itachi without the shit around his eyes. There's stress marks. Go figure. He looks it's exactly Sasuke. I'm not saying it looks like Sasuke. No, he's drawn like Sasuke with stress marks. So Sasuke has the same simple face.
I mean,
like the same.
It is his brother, so it kind of makes sense.
And that's why I was like, people's like, no, duh, it's his brother. No, y'all don't know what I'm saying. He is exactly Sasuke. Like the writers drew the same person. He was like, you know what?
Mark,
but like most people in Naruto, I think there's beauty and simplicity, but then there's also fear. It's also something scary about it. Because most Naruto characters are simplistic. If you take away, like Rock Lee's face is simple. The bowl cut makes it look eccentric, but if you put his hair up, there's nothing.
Yeah, draw out the hair. It's just face.
Yeah, like.
Didn't think of it that way.
How do you feel about it? You posed the question to me. How do you feel about it? A feminine man being vilified.
I think it's fucked up. And like, I noticed it. I didn't. As a young kid, I was like, this is kind of weird. But I never made it a point to talk about it. But like as a kid, I was like, huh. Why do they always do that? Why is it never just like a buff nigga that's the bad guy? But even in like Bond villains, like if you watch like a 007 movie or whatever, James Bond movie, typically the bad guy is like they're usually like a thin guy, a really nice suit, talks with their hands, they're extravagant people. It can't just be a simple nigga that wants to blow the world up.
So I think it's fucked up. And once again, I'm not covering for it. And maybe this is what they were going for. 9 out of 10, they weren't. But the people you described are people that you could tell actually good stories with. And so it gets to the point, does he have to be gay to do it? Because, like, you go for the big macho, big cock diesel motherfucker.
But okay, my argument to this is Kingpin. Kingpin's a great villain, right?
Yeah.
And you can write a hell of a story with Kingpin. We've seen it 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
And it not be weird. You know what I'm saying? And it be a good story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't give off any effeminate vibes.
That's true. But I guess there is no main effeminate. I wanted to say like, of course, I love Batman. It's funny that the Joker is his rival. Batman goes through a bunch. He fights man bats, cyborgs, big ass, Bane ass niggas. But Joker, it's just something about the simplistic, skinny. I guess he's eccentric, but he's not eccentric in a gay way. Because you never assumed that Joker's.
Yeah, Joker does. There has been some adaptation of Jokers where I was like, this is a little.
Yeah.
But
and so like I get exactly where we're getting a little bit off topic, but I do get exactly what you mean. But for me, those kind of characters are always more compelling. They're more layered than big.
I think they're more unsettling, like because it's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it was like, oh, people are gonna like this character because they can't get a handle on them. Oh, another character that's kind of Illumi, from Hunter x Hunter.
You think so?
Yeah, he's a little too.
He just comes to me as a little lost in general. Like, not lost sexually. just he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in life.
Illumi?
Bro, so if you
notice, you really don't think Illumi looks kind of...
So, to my point of where I think he's just lost, just blowing in the wind. So if you take away Illumi's whole... Like, if you take away him wanting to get back Killua, what is that nigga? What does he... What character traits does he have besides wanting to get his brother back? I agree with you that he's weird.
Number one, he plays dress up.
Really?
With the needles.
Oh. So do you know what's weird that you mentioned that? And it didn't dawn on me. I was like, dress up, he doesn't do it in his free time. I guess it is a power, but we always seen it for a specific... Like, we always seen... specific purpose number one, he wanted to join the Hunter exam without Killua knowing. And number two is that he owed Hisoka a favor to look like him. When you said it at first, I was like, he doesn't just dress up in their volcano. But I guess that is a feature. He likes to dress up. So like we made it dress up a power.
Yeah, you made him dressing up. And also like he has, not saying that if you have long hair you're gay, but like he has like long hair. Yeah, and it's like, and it's not styled in a way that's like a traditional masculine style. It's like a straight.
That bitch is just straight.
It's like, oh, this is because Killua's dad has long hair, but it's curly. But how it's structured, it looks like a guy.
You're lying. Killua's dad's hair looks sweet. I'm not gonna lie. That nigga look like he go to sleep on rollers.
Killua's dad's hair, to me, personally, looks like how your hair would look if you were like, how can I explain this? It doesn't look gay to me. It just looks like the European guy. Like I'm the macho man, but I have pretty hair. Look, I don't know why that makes sense to me.
I think you say that because he's a macho man, bro. If you put that hairstyle on Gon, you know he ain't hitting on nothing.
Gon got bitches. It doesn't matter how he looks.
But we're getting deep into Illumi, and so like now that I notice, he also falls into that Michael Jackson look.
Yeah, he kind of has like a Michael Jackson-y look.
And it's like, but for me, I never noticed like it never gave me gay vibes because like to your point with the hair. Everything about him is just simplistic. He's so simple. His hair is just straight. Like he looks like he just wakes up, and that's how that bitch is. Like
yeah, so like
he doesn't have anything on his like his face is plain. He has his dead ass look. Like he just can't. It's weird to me that he's so simple. That's the term.
I think, but that comes down to his character development.
Oh, pray to God that he gets on,
or lack thereof. Like, but as his character, like his whole personality is making Killua into the next leader, right? Like that's his whole character.
You know what's funny that you skipped over? We're debating this about Illumi being the bad guy. They literally made the boy who thinks he's a girl a villain. They locked him away because of the demon, but they didn't like him anyway.
Yeah, they liked him a little less than everybody.
Yeah, it made it easy to lock him away. Oh, there's a demon. Put that nigga in the vault.
Yeah, and
they strictly vilified the boy who identifies as a girl. What the fuck is his name? Aluka.
Yeah.
It's like it just dawned on me that.
Yeah, we named all this shit.
There's actually an LGBTQ member, and I don't know which direction they would have took the manga in the 90s. I like it because it's a throwback to the 90s. Since it was made in 2011, we have Killua accepting her for how she is. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you noticed, but if you rewatch it, they actually never the family
never calls her.
They always call him. And Killua was the only person to address him as her, and that's why she feels even more attached to Killua because she feels like Killua accepts her as her.
Yeah, or they have to call her him or it.
It, yep. And damn, you calling me it? We really ain't cool.
We beefing.
And so, like, I felt like that's a nice 20. Maybe they was gonna do that in 1990. Maybe it can't be for certain. But since it's 2011, it's a nice
touch.
It's a nice touch of accepting.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess.
And I liked her character because it wasn't so overbearing. Like it was a part of her character, in the sense of like this is who she is, but it wasn't so overbearing where it was like this is making me uncomfortable.
I know a few gay people, and this isn't the white person. I got black friends or whatever. Like I'm not even gonna say growing up. It used to make me uncomfortable being around gay people that was extra flamboyant. Mainly it's because I don't like being around people in general, and you're doing a little too much. And it's like when I met more gay people, it was just like, no, we don't like that shit either. That's kind of stereo. It embarrasses us because that's what people assume gay people act like. I'm gonna give him a shout out. My boy Sean, I worked at the ballpark with, coolest nigga ever. You could not ever tell he was really gay until you got into a conversation. He would just talk like, oh yeah, that nigga fine. and then he'll just talk a little bit more. Also, when he laughed, he had a tongue ring. When I saw that, I knew I knew, but when I knew I knew, but it's like I knew a couple more where like they were just cool about it. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gay. And does that offend you? No. Like I honest to God, I couldn't even tell you're gay, and that's when they just explained to me. Yeah, I mean, like I go to gay pride. I support, gay however I can. But like, yeah, I'm just gay. For me, when it's over the top, there's no difference from making them the villain because they're different than them wanting to stand out and be different.
Because they're different.
Because they're different.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. You intentionally want to be different. But then there's some that yeah.
Okay, but here's going to be the argument. Not saying I agree with it, but here's the argument. Do you think maybe them being themselves, like themselves, or just if they were straight, they would be loud and flamboyant too? Maybe a straight flamboyant, but they'll be the loud nigga that's always around. You know what I'm saying?
I've been wanting this question for years now.
So, do you think them being flamboyant is them just being themselves? So, how can you say that they can't? You're telling them to not be themselves.
And that's what they shouldn't be. There's a time and place. This goes for bitches too. You don't get the right just to be loud because you're loud. That's not acceptable in any fucking manner. Like, I've been waiting for this. Oh, I'm just like, well, you better fucking learn how to grow the hell up then. Because being gay don't give you the excuse to be annoying as all hell.
I completely agree.
I've been waiting for this for a minute.
I have to play devil's advocate on this bitch, or we won't have any arguments.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this. I'm waiting for a gay person to ask me that same question. I'm going to shut that shit on down.
Yeah, bro.
So,
look.
Growing up, and I was narrow-minded because, well, I told you, there ain't a lot of gay people in my hood. Maybe they were closeted, but I'm pretty sure they weren't.
Definitely closeted.
But it was like, we had this one gay guy in school, and he was flamboyant. We had two, and they both was flamboyant. So I just assumed that all gay people was flamboyant. And just in general, man, y'all niggas too loud for me, bro. Y'all got it, bro. Y'all can do y'all, just stay away from me. And so I assumed all gay people was flamboyant until I met gay people who weren't.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, of course, if I would have had a podcast then and said what I said, I would be canceled because, like, bro, you were bigoted towards gay people. I knew no damn better. I met more people now.
Yeah.
And now I know, like anything in life, there's some that's that, but then there's some that's not.
Yeah. But that's just like the fucking the white guy who's like, woo, every time they get drunk. Like, it's fucking annoying.
Every time.
And we don't hang out with Chad because he's always doing that.
Yeah. And it's our personality. Like, we legitimately, if you the loudest thing in the room, you're not hanging with us. You put too much of a spotlight on us. We would like to do our work undercover.
We like to sit in the back and talk shit. You're being too loud, my guy.
And so, and that was a great question you asked. But I think it does always come down to, and this is why I can't really agree with cancel culture in general when it comes to old forms of entertainment, because there's always going to be a foreign thing that you don't agree with. There's always going to be something different that's the bad guy.
And but I think that boils down to human psychology and like how we're programmed. It's like you always shun the other, right? Like if you were in a tribe of people and some random person came up and trying to communicate with your tribe, you'd be like, "Hey, dog, get the fuck away from here."
Hell, if the tribe of people is the last people on the planet, they'll find some reason to make fun of something else. Like, they'll find any look at that motherfucker. That nigga can't grow hair down to his shoulders. What's wrong with him?
Oh, bald head nigga.
And that is true because to my WWE analogy, and like a lot of like we're able to get them off doing some stupid shit because I'm tired of the foreign heel trope. Maybe because I've become less American as the days goes on. Like, I'm sick of the like, there'll be a fan favorite, there'll be a huge Japanese sensation. We can't wait to see him come in, cheap shot a nigga in the balls. So because he's Japanese, he has to be the bad guy. Why can't he just be a straight up baby face? That's the good guys. Why can't he be a straight up baby face and be so like? I guess that is the chain of evolution. Because like just let the bad guys be bad guys. Let the good bro. This foreign shit is just, and they do it like a nigga can be Canadian, but you won't know is Canadian until they tell you he's Canadian. And then his trope will be, y'all Americans make me sick. And it's literally the trope. I can literally show you footage from 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 20, and 2010s of the same thing. Y'all Americans make me sick. When does it die down? When does it? But I do think entertainment.
But you also gotta think, what demographic of people is watching
And WWE is the American based. And for all I know, in Japan, they probably make Americans the bad guys.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like, what is the average IQ level of people who are watching wrestling?
Yeah, I would think them niggas are pretty stupid.
Especially people who think wrestling is real.
But I do think entertainment, like, I don't think there's so many ways you can do entertainment. There's only so many ways you can make a bad guy, so you have to pick different eventually. Different is just one of those. It's a good trope to go to.
I think if they did the bad guy, the foreigner being the bad guy, every now and then it wouldn't be that bad of a deal.
Yeah, it being common is just
if it's always the same. Like, bro, come on, let's get something else.
Like everything, writing makes a difference. I think there can be a great gay villain in 2021 if written correctly that everybody can get behind because like he's written so well that it makes you like him. So I think that's the same for the foreign gimmick because the foreign gimmick always harps back to y'all Americans and y'all's freedom. Come on, we know everybody else in the world wants freedom. If you can give me a real reason why he hates America or a real reason to where he's upset.
Give him a villain origin story. Not just, I hate America.
Yeah. Or if you show a progression of like once again the story, if you show a progression of him getting shitted on by the fans to make you think, oh, yeah, he shouldn't like y'all niggas. Like, and so I think it's the story. You need to make sure the story's right. You can't beat up the gay villain in any form of entertainment just because he's gay. If you have the gay villain with layers, and like his motivation doesn't even need to be that he's gay. This is what I get to like. What does his sexuality really matter of anything? He could just be a bad guy that's just so happens
to be gay. He also likes dicks. You know, whatever. Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And that's also like to my main point of like, you shouldn't really be able to tell sexuality. Like, I'm not mad if he comes out as gay or whatever, but like, bro, I shouldn't. Me telling you about sexuality is meaning that I'm judging you. There's good and bad judging. If you make it evident that you're one thing, I'm judging you regardless. Well, now we want to be in 2022. We want you to be predisposed to judging in the right way, but you're still judging regardless of what's.
Yeah.
So
and in a weird way, judging is not inherently bad or evil.
Yes.
It's just a thing that people do.
Yeah. So yeah, I think and don't get me wrong, 2022 stuff is very like really up there. It's very inclusive. I think from me watching older stuff till now, I think it's done very tastefully. Now, I'm not gay, so I can't speak on gay people. Yeah. But for the stuff that I see, I feel like
it's not so overbearing where it's like, to me at least, there is some times in shows I'm like, okay, we get it. But
my favorite trope in shows, I love the gay old guy. I don't know why, but when the old people when you get like the 60-year-old man that be gay, damn, that motherfucker be funny. I swear to God.
But have you ever met a 60-year-old old guy? They're always fucking hilarious.
There's one at my job, and he's funny as shit. Shout out to my boy Jeff. That motherfucker is funny. And he makes the funniest gay jokes only based off of something. It was like we were talking about bullying. It was like, there was bullying going on in my school. But, yeah, I did like sausage, too, so.
My boy Jeff Wild right out there.
It's just subtle funny of like, yeah, there was bullying, but yeah, you're not gay and I was. And so like That's my favorite trope. Gay. I only noticed after like 4 shows. Man, that's my shit. They always give him the sassiest quips.
And it's like sassy, but not sassy where it's like off-putting. Yeah. Like sassy, like, that's fucking funny.
Or like, I forgot what show it was, but it was like something, he went to go get his hair done. Mind you, he's balding, so that bitch is just shiny. And so a girl said something. He was like, bitch, you just mad because it looked better than yours. Bro, I like it. I don't know if that will come off as offensive or whatever. That's something, in 10 years, if that come off as offensive, I'm fucked. Because I love that shit. I love that shit. I'm pushing for more old gay people and stuff. But yeah, like, I do think there's better tropes. And I personally love my villains to be unknown sexuality and go back and forth. I like Orochimaru was damn near menacing because I could not tell that motherfucker's a boy or girl. Still can't because he actually is neither.
He actually neither. He's a hermaphrodite.
Because like technically
he's a girl right now.
I'm about to say his soul was a boy, but for the fact that he switches bodies, with whatever. So
I think the last body he switched into was a girl. Or was it a boy?
It was a clone.
He switched to a clone.
The Zetsu.
Oh yeah, he did get to the
and Zetsu's really not nothing.
Yeah.
So, but like, I always hark back to it when he faced when he faced the third Hokage, and like he was that woman, and the Hokage was like, "You're not even. Are you man or woman? You're just monster." And he ripped that off. Bro, what is this motherfucker? Bro, you ripped off a woman's face, and yet still look like a girl. What are you doing? Were you supposed to rip that bitch off and look masculine?
I remember reading that in manga, and it was way more impactful in the manga.
Bro, I remember I read the Naruto manga up until, this is so funny, I read it up until right before the conclusion of Naruto versus Neji. And it's funny that I say right before, but the fucking chapter ended right before you see. And so like for some odd reason I just stopped reading. I think the anime caught up and I was just like, fuck it. Let's watch the anime. But the manga was so much, the manga with Haku was so much more better because it's just like, I like that character. I like that they go back and forth because like if you have a straight character, he's not going to cross boundaries that much. But I like the characters that's not afraid like just to do. If a nigga's tied up, I like when the character comes around. It's like, and it's like it's no sense of space. Mm. It's no sense of barriers. Like there's nothing I'm not willing to do to get what I want. I guess not in a sexual. Just like, damn, this motherfucker is. I like it. I like it. I like Orochimaru. I like. I forgot who else we named, but like I love the trope. Man. I just like that shit.
The more I think about it, the more I think Sasuke is gay.
What makes you think that?
He was so willing to give up his body to Orochimaru just to kill Itachi.
I'm gonna put this out there. The one thing I am saying, I hate when they make a bunch of straight characters gay. Bro, why can't y'all have gay characters? Because you saying that made me. Bro, there's a bunch of people who's like Naruto and Sasuke are lovers. Y'all obviously don't have real friendship. And the thesis of it is that Naruto is constantly going after Sasuke, and Sasuke is constantly saying no to every woman he sees. And it was like, damn, nigga, one of them girls got to look cute too.
I completely understand what you're saying. Those niggas are a little too much of good friends.
Yeah, man, y'all niggas ain't have friends in the shows. Y'all niggas ain't willing to risk it all in the name of friendship.
Hey, it's bros for hoes for a lot of things. They went a little too far.
Bro, them niggas was 11 and 12. Like, bro, they weren't even sexually active. Them niggas was dying. I'm trying to stay active on this earth.
And I'm not really talking about Naruto, the original series, specifically Shippuden.
What's weird? Them niggas got kids. What's weird about it? That's not.
They got kids after.
That was not a strong argument. That was not strong by
There's plenty of guys who came out as gay after 16 years of having a child with somebody else.
Bro, for me, I see. Man, maybe shit. There might be a little bit of sugar in my tank, but I know how it feels to be, bro, to live a life where you're not certain about every day and just looking back on it. Bro, I feel about 40, man. The way me and my boy Eric talk, man, we're exactly like Naruto and Sasuke. In Shippuden. And it's just like, bro, I know, thinking about it, sometimes we might reminisce about the old war stories. Damn, nigga. Yeah, nigga. I just don't see, I honest to God don't see. I see from two people, so like Naruto always going after Sasuke, bro, the nigga, and this has been retconned a lot, but going with the story, the nigga didn't have any one friend. And the one friend he made knows, like, they know how it feels to be alone. Whatever. So they made the best friend.
I completely agree with you. It's just funny, though. Yeah. It's just funny.
I was about to say, like,
it's just a joke. But
niggas be so dead ass. Bro.
Oh,
niggas
yeah, they
ain't
be
gay.
dead ass.
Niggas ain't gay. Y'all, that's also, so somebody got on me too. Was like, bro, what's your problem? You don't want your characters to be gay? Why can't you just have gay characters? Why do you have to make everything I like gay? That's the problem. And then when I say it, it makes me sound like, what are you, a homophobe?
No,
I'm more empowering. Why don't you just make the character to put in? Like,
yeah, you could just make, you can have a show with a gay main character, and that I'm not required to watch the show or like the show. You know what I'm saying?
Or like, I can like it, but I'm not going to be like, damn, why can't that nigga be straight? Like that. Like how sometimes with like, I know you notice with especially the new Avengers people, something, oh yeah, what if such and such was gay? You do know there are gay superheroes, right? Yeah. They're actually in the Avengers. You don't need to make these people gay.
Yeah, like, are. The perfect example of this is Captain Marvel. Because she was gay in the comic books, too.
Oh, yeah, she was gay.
That's why they made her gay in the movie.
Yeah.
Because she was already.
And, yeah, that was just like, I feel like I'm more empowering because I want you to have more representation. I want you to have your own unique representation. Because, like, if you make Batman gay for this, bro, that's not going to be main continuity. You're going to be in a little side episode, and then we're going to go back to the main continuity of him being straight. But if you get your own character and whatever, they will forever be solidified as LGBTQ. And I feel like that's more empowering that in 40 years, the character will still be gay. And vice, like, that's my prerogative on it. Why don't you want something that's going to stand the test of time and not just a little flash in the pan?
True. All right, closing arguments. Do you think that cartoons should be less sexualized, stay the same, or more sexualized? Go.
I don't know exactly what the options are. Since stay the same as what we grew up with, I will go less sexualized.
I will say there should be.
I haven't watched cartoons now. Like you watch Teen Titans Go. I haven't watched it.
I've watched it a little bit, and it's the Lady Legacy episodes are.
So like, I really don't know what real cartoons look like now. Yeah. So maybe they are less sexualized, but going based off of what we grew up with, less sexualized.
I think there should just be levels to it. Like, as you get older, as a teenager, into a high schooler, you should get more and more of how humans interact.
I do believe there should be different channels. Yeah. For cartoons,
there should just be different.
You should have your regular
age groups.
Yeah, you're like your regular Nicktoons. That's not whatever. But then you got they do have this, but it should be more specific to like Teen Nick, to where you have those cartoons with suggestive themes and this and that. And it's like that. Then that is really on you to make sure your child ain't watching that damn Teen Nick and Adult Swim. That's on you. You to make sure they watching that damn regular Nicktoons. And that's just how I feel like that works. I feel like that there's a space and whatever. I would have preferred that growing up. Because God knows I got tired of watching SpongeBob when I was 11 or 12. I wanted to watch my damn Zoe 101.
I forgot that's like one of your favorite shows.
Great themes. God, I wanted to go to boarding school so goddamn bad.
Boarding school is not like that.
But for you, well, what's your answer?
There should just be levels to it. They should have different options. If it's just a different time period, like how Adult Swim is, after a certain time, more mature shows come on. Yeah. But I think you have to learn how to interact with people, and one of the best ways to do that is kind of in media. Now, it can definitely be done wrong and done right, but I think a good way to learn how to even spit game to a girl.
Boy, them cartoons sure fucked me on spin that game. I had to go to BET. But I feel you. But I had to go to that real shit. But I 100% get you. My closing statement is, bro, don't let these TVs raise your goddamn kids. How about you teach them a little motherfucker something? At the end of the day, you have to be a good parent. He said that this is good for society. When it was better for society, you teach your kids how to.
I completely agree with this.
To teach your kids not to treat people who are different than them wrong. Teach them that it doesn't matter who you love or who you're attracted to. Like, how about you be a parent and stop letting the motherfucking TV raise them kids, and we'd be perfect. But I don't have nothing witty to say. Insert witty here. We out.
We out.